Hey everybody, it's Casual Boops coming at you with another video, and today we're going to cover the brand new tank that just dropped. I guess the entire Italian heavy tank line has just dropped today, if you're seeing this, or I guess it was maybe, depending on when I release this. Anyways, it was dropped on the 26th on NA, and the top of that tree is the Rinoceronte, or Rinoceronte? Yeah, the Rhino. It's the Rhino in Italian, and that's what we're going to be featuring today, the Rhino. And yeah, I'll just real quick, we'll run into this to just breeze over some of the high and low points of the stats, and yeah, and we'll get right into the game. So basically, the first thing I want to show here is the DPM, which is awful. And it does have a clip, right? It has a clip and the an auto reloader with a modified mechanic that I'll get into later. But so for that reason, I generally like to, when people talk about the DPM of an autoloader, it's usually kind of meaningless because, you know, you're not really playing a clip tank for the DPM. You're normally playing it for the burst damage. But it really does come into play quite a bit here because, like, oh, it's really bad. You've got a clip potential of just under 1500, which sounds great, but it takes you 8 seconds to dump that, which feels like forever. And God forbid you do that, then your last, like if you just click and dump the clip, your next round doesn't come out for 19 and a half seconds. I mean, you can boost this with, you know, perks and things and equipment, but like you don't get a rammer, so it can't get that much better than 19 seconds, and then 16 for your next one, and then 15 for your next one. Like you're just sitting here down for like 45 seconds or something like that. Like it's just really bad. So like, the DPM of this thing being as low as it is, you definitely notice it and you feel it. And if you get to the point where you're on the deep reload, you're like, oh my god, I hate my existence. So this is a really big downside. It's really hard, I've found in my experience playing the thing a little bit this morning, it's really hard to be aggressive with this thing because as soon as you shoot your first shot, you're automatically going to get out reloaded by the thing that you're trying to brawl with. So it's a pretty good support heavy tank, but it really can't lead the charge, so to speak, because it doesn't really have the DPM to keep up. Now, okay, so bad things, right? We'll start with bad things. DPM is really bad. The intra-clip being 4 seconds is not good, right? It takes kind of a bit to dump your 3 rounds. I find the accuracy to be kind of annoying. It's not like really bad, but it's certainly not what I would call good. So you're definitely meant to be, if you let it sit and aim in, 3.32 is okay, but like I didn't find the accuracy to be that good. Let me see, other bad things. Top speed of 40 feels kind of bad. It feels pretty sluggish. I don't know, like Wargaming kind of pepped this as like, oh, it's got great dynamics and stuff, and like, I don't know, I'm just not seeing it, man. 40 kilometers per hour is not very fast, and you definitely notice that. When I've played through the line here a little bit on my Sheriff account, I played the 9 and liked that a lot more because it was substantially faster. So 40 feels pretty slow. And I know that people are testing around, like I threw a turbo on this thing and got it to 44, and that made a difference. I don't know, it's just one of those things. Let's see, other bad things. Oh, crew layout. So the entire like Italian heavy tank line, starting at tier 7, they all have a 4-man crew. The premium tank has a 4-man crew, and then you get all the, you spend the time training your crew and grinding up the line. You get to tier 10, and then everything is different because you have a 3-man crew, and so like your perks need to get shuffled around, and it doesn't fit in your premium tank anymore, and it's very annoying. I hate when Wargaming does this. They've said that it's for historical purposes, but like none of these tanks were built in real life anyways, so why don't you just fudge it like you did with the Even 90, right? Anyways, this is very annoying to me, and it also makes it very hard to get a crew that's you need a crew that has 3, 4, 5 perks before they're good, right? Or before you can maximize the good stuff about the tank. So this is very annoying. Okay, so good stuff. 390 average view range is good. 10 degrees of gun depression is good. The penetration is actually really good. 268 is, you know, on par with other tier 8 or tier 10s. It's good. 490 average alpha damage feels impactful, right? You'd slap people for almost 500 damage. It's nice. Yeah, I think that basically covers the things that you can otherwise read. Ammo capacity could be a little bit higher, to be honest, but yeah, it's whatever. Okay, armor wise, it's okay. It's all right. It's not like okay, if you're seeing this in a tier 8, You got a problem. I will say there is a lower plate, but it's 230. Like depending on which angle you see it at, like it's kind of got this rounded kind of saucer type shape. So if you see this and it's kind of flat on, you get 220 effective. So that's the average pen of a lot of tier 8s, I guess. So maybe it's probably like a 50-50 in a tier 8, or if you're tapping 2, then you probably pen it. But that's tapping 2 and hitting it flat on a lower plate. Like that's hard to do, right? So from the front, you do have the this little like the Rhino has a horn, right? And that is only 120 millimeters and it's angled, so you get 180. So like you will pen this, but it's really, really hard to hit and it's really small. And so if you're seeing this from far off and it's aiming at you, you get that little thing to hit. So like it's pretty small, but it does exist. But generally speaking, from a tier 8 perspective, good luck, right? Go around the side or something. Otherwise, F you. But from a tier 10 perspective, like if you're not using gun depression, the armor in this thing is kind of cheese, right? I've just shot standard rounds right through the turrets of these things. Like I've shot in my Rinoceronte, gosh. Watching The Expanse at the same time as this show, as this tank comes out, is gonna be bad for me. But anyways, in my Rhino, I've shot other Rhinos in the turret, and it's just gone through just with standard rounds. So if you're not using gun depression, this thing is 270 effective, but which is not like, you see, this is like the premium penetration is 325, which is about average for tier 10s, right? You can see the gun, like the armor's not really good, right? If you're using gun depression, which you have a lot of, then it's kind of a different story. I mean, you still have the Rhino horn, obviously, but then it's only a 40% chance. But like, really, what I'm trying to get at here is you probably shouldn't rely on the armor in a tier 10 game in this tank. I don't think. You can kind of do some side scrapey things a little bit, but then you kind of flatten out this shoulder. Like you can see the angle of this hull. It flattens out. If you try to angle like this, and something like that, then if you're not using gun depression, you're gonna get shot right in the shoulder plates. So the armor is kind of so-so. It's not bad, but it's not really all that good either. So yeah, without further ado, we'll get into the replay. All right, so we're gonna get right into the game here, and we're watching Oxy play his Rhino on Redshire. It's an all tier 10 game, and there's one arty per side, and things look a little different right now. It's because the mod packs haven't updated, so my mod pack isn't on, so we're playing full vanilla right now. And you can see the speed, right? We're maxed out at 40 right now, and the turret traverse is kind of slow. I mean, I don't know. I don't really find anything about this tank to be particularly fast. I'll just say it like that. So maybe you guys have different experiences, and let me know what you think, but like, it's certainly not like the IS-7's creeping away from us, and I wouldn't really call the IS-7 a fast tank either. So anyways, it is what it is. Here we are. But yes, I believe that Oxy is playing his Rhino with a improved hardening, and he's got, I think, purple vents and a purple rammer, because you can't mount, or not a rammer, a purple V-stab, right? Trying to make this gun behave as well as you can, and then the vents to make the reload as good as you can with food. So that's why his first shot reload is 13.9 seconds. So it's not as bad as it was on the stat sheet, but this is also not very good either. So you really have to just make sure that you have friends around you wherever you go. And Oxy's going to get up here and try to work this hill with this gun depression that he has. And yeah, the cavalry's here. So Oxy decides to not kind of go over where they on the ledge where that's like pushing out from here. Once you own the blimp like this, pushing out usually gets you shot from the middle. Oxy puts a good shot in, and the CS-63 has apparently decided that living is overrated, and so that's where his game ends. So pushing out like into that 60 TP would usually result in you getting shot from the hill, like from the people sitting at like G5, G4. So I support Oxy's decision to not do that, and since the enemy Rhino is going to go ahead and graciously give us his side, we'll put a couple of rounds in, and yeah, so now Oxy gets to sit here for, I think you might have had some some of the compensation. You can see the reticle is doing these, making all this noise. And I think the gist of it here is the longer you wait, the more the little lights light up, the more of a bonus you're going to get on the next shot's reload, right? The first one's 16, and then like 25, and then 33, and then like that little ding means it's 50% bonus. Instead of sitting and waiting for 20 seconds, you might have 10 seconds. So it kind of makes it sting a little bit less when you are on the reload and you still have to just have to shoot a shot anyways. So that's the whole meme with this entire line, and how it's differentiating itself from the mediums is it has that compensation mechanic where you get a bonus if you're nearly loaded and you shoot anyways. You get a little bonus on your reload for the next shot. So, but yes, Oxy is reloading, and you can see the bat chat was about to explode. So even though he was on the deep reload, Oxy decided to shoot the bat chat anyways. And I agree with that because he's got time to sit here and think about life while he reloads from the deep reload. So, and that bat chat was about to explode, so it's not like he'll need that shell anytime soon. So why not just get 500 damage? So now we're going to use the blistering speed and mobility that's been given to the Rhino and try to flex over to the middle, because again, our team can't really push out of the blimp area, and so it would be foolish for Oxy to try by himself, so he's going to kind of go backwards in order to go forwards. And this is something I don't see players in public games doing a lot, and they probably should do more of, because, you know, if you just keep running your face in expecting different results, you're going to have a bad time. Yeah, so Oxy probably should wake up a little bit and see the middle. The Kranvagn has got a good shots on Oxy. He's also lit up, so he's going to try to angle his armor and try to take cover and close the distance, right? Because that Kranvagn is using the hill effectively, and so Oxy didn't really have any chance of penning that guy. So he wanted to get in closer so that he could close the distance and actually have it, you know, make the angles work in his favor, but also not expose himself to damage. And let's see if we can sneak a shot. No dice. But you can see, like, the accuracy of the thing does kind of behave, but it takes a second, right? You can't just snap shots in like a patent. But if you're willing to let the gun work a little bit, then it can work okay. So I think Oxy's pinging to the 60 TP, hoping the IS-7 or somebody can be put in a position to light up the 60 TP, and we have a shot, and oh my god, good stuff. Yeah, so yeah, 0.32 accuracy is really doing it. And yeah, the interclip being 4 seconds means that 60 TP was able to pull back into cover before we had another shot loaded. But you can see that the pace of combat, right? So the reason that we're able to do things in this game is because no one's really pressured Oxy to do anything. And we get a good shot on the Kranvagn while he was, I don't know if he was either loaded or something, but must not have expected us to be there. But you're seeing this. Every single time that we're able to do something, it's because everyone's just kind of ignoring Oxy. And yeah, it does hit like a truck. I like 490 Alpha. It feels impactful. I will say I like the sound of the gun. It feels, I don't know, it's kind of superficial, but I like it. Whatever. But, the reload, I mean, it's just like no one's pressuring him. I just want to say that. Like, the experiences I've had have been much less good than this game, but that's because every time that I'm in one of these things, I am in a position where I have to do stuff. People are about to shoot me a whole bunch. So we put one in, and we wait for the next one, and okay. We were able to put a shot in there before the IS-7 was able to shoot us somehow. I would have thought he'd be loaded by that point, but, you know, oh well. So we have a Jaegeru that's been spotted at K0. I have to keep that in mind because those things are scary. And that would probably be why the 9-0 line push would have been disastrous, because you definitely would have pushed into a Jaegeru. Also, the only thing left here is the ST2. We don't know who the ST2 is. He hasn't been spotted. But, you know, now that we've got the 3 shots left, it's always just kind of a good habit, unless you have a really good reason to do otherwise, to, like, sit and wait for your full shells, your full clip to be loaded before trying to make a move, because you don't want to, like, you're already at a disadvantage, right? When you've got 2 rounds loaded, your next shot is going to take forever to reload. So if you're not being pressured to shoot, you want to make sure that you go into any engagement with your full mag, if possible. And so that's what Oxy has been doing, and our guys in the 9-0 line have stayed there for way too long, and I'm pretty sure that Rhino is dead. Yep, he's dead. Nice. So this is kind of still a close game for some reason, even though Oxy's managed to pick up almost 4,000 damage and 3 kills. But yeah, so the Centurion, Action X, and Oxy are going to push down the 1 line, and this is important. You see this a lot in competitive play. This is really great. It's a great way of clearing the map because there's people who can be sitting on the K line back there, and if you don't clear this side, they might just pop up and farm you, right? So pushing all the way to K1 and then down the K line is the right move, the right play, and you might be able to catch the RD out, and then also gives you good you know, surrounding fire, good angles on anybody who's in the mid, like the Jaegeru or the CCTP. So it's a good move. I will say what I'd like to see here is that you can see on the minimap the T100 is on the hill, and so you'd think that the T100 would be spotting the entire, like, if the enemy team was to approach on the 9-0 and approach back, like, you know, B8 and approach from there, that the T100 would be able to spot that, so we could see what's happening before it happens. But where he's located, you can't actually see anything, so he's pretty much useless at this point. But I guess we'll just let future Oxy worry about that. And for now, we've got. He's gonna wait. He could put a shot in right now but then he'd be on the deep reload. So we're gonna let this compensation mechanic kick in a little bit to give us a little bonus on the next reload. So that's what we do. Oxy waited for the maximum bonus possible to put out the last shot, because then instead of waiting for 18 or so seconds, it's only like 9 or 10 or something like that. So you still get the bonus without totally gimping yourself, right? You get you still get that extra damage without waiting for 45 seconds for a full mag. And this is a point where, like, Oxy is going to shoot anyways because, oh god, because that's a Jaegeru, right? But unfortunately now, because of that, now we have a long time, 6 seconds, even now for this one. So, like, it's got, you kind of have to do some math, right? So it's got 1,200 hit points. So if you shoot it now, you're not going to kill it. And so it's worth Oxy's time to wait. And, like, if you have a full clip, if you have 2 rounds, you would have to get very lucky to kill the Jaegeru. So it doesn't really make sense to do any shooting, right? So Oxy goes ahead and waits for his, and the Object 140 is spotted at A5. That's good to know, but nothing we can do about that or anyone else, because the T100 is not really doing the right stuff here to give us any information before it's irrelevant. Anyways, RD kills our Centurion, which is really good stuff. And anyway, so you have to do some math in your head between, like, all right, what engagement do you want to take, and is that going to work for you, right? Because if you take an engagement, if you shoot early, right? If Oxy would have shot when he had 2 shots, like, the timing would not have worked out. And so, oh my god, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but, like, whenever I'm facing a Jaegeru and I get spotted and he doesn't, that's just a big pucker factor. Like, somehow the armor on the Rhino worked. Even though, like, you and I just went over this in Tank CG. Like, it shouldn't have. I don't know where the Jaegeru shot to be able to bounce, but that's really unfortunate. So, also before we engage the Jaegeru, Oxy loaded heat rounds, partially because he's gonna fight a Jaegeru, but then also partially because he only had 2 rounds of standard rounds left. So that would mean that he'd only be able to load 2, and you'd be, like, perpetually on the deep reload here. Oh my god! What just happened? I think that Oxy just shot the gun. Oxy just shot the gun of the T92, which is not a hitbox, and so that doesn't actually count. Oh my god. And then we low roll. Oh my god. So each of these has been potentially for the kill shot, so, like, that's why Oxy's been shooting, even though it's his last shot in the mag. So each of these has been the deep reload. This is very uncomfortable. Like, the first one, I don't know what happened, right? Must have shot the gun. The second one, he just got unlucky with a low roll. But, like, oh, that was uncomfortable. That was uncomfortable. Okay. So, anyways, so that's one of the things about the ammo count that I've been mentioning. Like, you don't think that this thing has an ammo capacity issue, but like as soon as you get down to 2 rounds, you really ought to switch ammo, because you're gonna gimp yourself a lot more than you would in like a normal. I guess it's like, I don't know if it's worse than a normal clip tank. Like if you've got a bat chat with 4 rounds left, right? You've still got to pay for the entire drum reload, but you only get 4 rounds instead of 5. Same kind of thing. But anyways, Oxy's going to go ahead and head this way because, all right, we're at 7,100 damage, and it's heads-up game against this 60 TP. I don't know what the plan was here. I think maybe, you know, Oxy was thinking maybe he'd scooch around to the blimp area, but in any case, we know the 60 TP is just shot, so he's got like a something 10, like a 15 or 17 second reload. So presumably Oxy has time to get behind this cover before he gets shot at again. No, unfortunately not. 60 TP lands a shot on Oxy, and he's at 1,400 hit points. So that means that we should just, if you math that out, we should be able to just dump a clip and finish this. But we also can't afford to take a hit from the 60 TP either. So luckily there's a hill between us, so we can. Okay, let's just. It looks like the 60 TP is approaching, using cover, using this building as cover, which he should be doing. Put a good shot in the side, and okay. So now we still got the dead hull here. And we'll put another one into the. And that was a low roll, unfortunately. So 60 TP just shot. We have a round now that's up, but. Unfortunately, it's because the second shot was a low roll, there's a chance that this could be a low roll as well. So Oxy waits until he has 2 shots, and he's loading the 3rd one. Right, so that gives you a bonus. And he manages to shut it down, shut the 60 TP down before the 60 TP is loaded again. Thank God. I think if it would have waited any longer, the 60 TP would have been able to shoot, and that probably would have been the end of the game for Oxy. Alright, so at the end of the game, Oxy manages to pick up 9,200 damage and 6 kills, which is an ace tanker, the high caliber, and the top gun, and the tank sniper somehow. Almost 3,000 blocked. I don't understand. I think maybe this is probably just because people don't know, like this is the first day that the tank has been up, so people don't really know about it, don't know where to shoot it, don't know how to shoot it, how to play against it. But anyways, here we are, and that gives Oxy a 1,408 base XP score, which is pretty incredible considering, you know, tier 10s don't normally get that high a base XP, because you get less XP for shooting lower tiers. But yeah, and that also pulls a profit. Oxy managed to pull a profit of 15,000 credits, even in a tier 10 game, and using food. You know, I think if he would have probably, I'm sorry, 33,000 credits is what he got. And if he didn't have a premium, premium account, he would have cost himself 1,000. But still not bad, right? Because most of what he shot was standard rounds, which you can do in the Rhino because it has 2 of 68 base pen, and because it kind of punishes you from switching back and forth, right? In order to switch ammo, you have to fully dump the entire mag and then start from scratch, which is a huge downside. So that's one thing about these auto reloaders, is it really encourages you to kind of stick with the standard rounds, or I guess stick with heat rounds, and not switch back and forth. So anyway, so that's the game, and congratulations to Oxy on the fantastic match, and thanks for sending in the replay, and thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.